Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, everyone in between and adjacent, welcome to the Rush Rundown, what I believe is the first and only 10-minute testing ripoff for Rush Duels. Today we're going to be flexing our brain muscles. Usually when you think Rush, you think of decks that really want to win battle. Maybe you're thinking of high quality removal, or you're thinking of our staple back rows. But what if I told you it was time to learn some combo? Thanks to the most recent update, a previous combo powerhouse makes its return once again. So please allow me to introduce to you Psychics.
ギターの音か？違う。ロミンのお腹の音だ。
This is the part of the video where I tell you to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment down below. So, Psychics have always been a really interesting deck. They really were the first kind of archetype that really did combos outside of, oh, it's time to activate the skill and stuff like that. See, with Psychics, you always need to make sure you had the proper resources and you were looping and using them properly in a way that was a little hard for you to keep track of. Now, with the most recent update, we got a whole host of brand new cards as well as a brand new skill. These bring Psychic back up to the very, very top, where I'd say this is one of the premier decks you'll be playing in Rush right now. So like every card by card, we have to start with our skill. Our brand new skill is Infinite D Live. Can be activated from turn 2 onward if all monsters in your constructed deck are Psychic type monsters. Send one light or dark attribute monster with 100, 400, 1500, or 2200 attack from your deck to your graveyard. Your other option is to send one card from your hand to the graveyard, then add one Side Pick Upper, Ice Pop Bear, or Fusion from your deck or graveyard to your hand, each one once per duel. Now that could be a pretty big information overload right there. You see, Psychics in the main deck all have those similar stats like the skill mentioned. 18, 22, 5, 5, 6, 1, 15, 400, and that's just the cards in our current deck. Now, the skill mentions a whole lot of different attack values, but the most important is 2200, which lets us send Prima Guitarna from our deck to the graveyard, because it combos with our brand new fusion monster, Can D Live. Requirements is Can D Live and Side Pick Upper. Requirement: your opponent has a monster on their field. You can either take 2000 damage, then you can make all face-up monsters in your opponent's field lose 3000 attack until the end of this turn, or gain 1000 life points. You can choose one level 7 or higher Psychic type monster in your graveyard and special summon it face up to your field. Now, I will mention that the reason I add a little pause between take 2000 and gain 1000 is because you can do just those, if that makes sense. You see, Candy Live is a level 9 light monster with 2800 attack, meaning she cannot be hit by cards that say specify level 8 and such like that. So even if you can't do a combo with her, you are fine to just summon her on field, because you can either put your life points lower to maybe set up a Esperade play if you're on Esperade, or just gain 1000 life points. Frequently, you will be winning out on your opponent in terms of life points just from executing your normal line. And the second effect, of course, is the combo with Prima Guitarna, where you're just going to be reborning Prima Guitarna, and hey, this gives you 1000 life points, so that means Prima Guitarna's effect is always online. We actually have two more fusions as well. We have Candy All, requires Candy, and the brand new Ice Pop Bear. No requirements, you can do this in any board state. Special summon one level 6 or lower Psychic type monster from your graveyard face up to your field. You can summon your Side Pick Upper, you can summon the Ice Pop Bear, you can summon Candy. Whole options. She can either just summon out a tribute material, a combo material, or just a utility tool. And finally, we are playing one Amma Bear Lilith. Now, this card takes two monsters that we have not seen before, but it takes the Amma Lilith and Ice Pop Bear. No requirements again. Return one monster in your opponent's field to the hand. Then your opponent can special summon one monster from their hand in face-up attack position on the field. So this is an interesting card, where when I read it at first, I thought it was pretty bad and wasn't going to be worth playing. However, I thought a little more, and I realized this card outs any fusion for free. It outs Ancient Gear Golem for free, and it forces the opponent to have a monster in attack position to say do something like make it lose 3,000 attack to then just get punched really hard by our boosted monster. Now that's the extra deck. Let's go over the main. We are on 1 Prima Guitarna, the Shining Superstar. We are on just the 1 because we are looking to foolish her with our skill. Basically, 1 Romantic. We are on 3 Psy Pick Upper, the brand new card. Her effect, during your main phase that you normal summon or special summon this card, send a top card of your deck to the graveyard. This card loses 800 attack until the end of this turn. Then you can gain 800 attack. I had a very interesting play where I looped this card like 3 times and did some other things where I ended up going to almost 9,000 life points on my first turn. So even though I didn't really have much in terms of presence on the field, my life points were so high I didn't have to worry about dying. That's a really, really fun part about this card as well, because if you loop the same one, this effect is not once per turn. So you just loop her multiple times. So you can do something like summon her, use her effect, special her back after tributing her with Candy All, and just go off like that. As well, milling a card is pretty damn nice. Maybe you end up milling a Prima Guitarna because Psy Pick Upper is the other material for Candy Live. So if you do something like Psy Pick Upper and you have to use your skill to get fusion or get one of the other fusion materials, Psy Pick Upper might just mill your Prima Guitarna. Or if you're playing a different level 7 to reborn that. We are on 2 Rhythmical Performer. I was on 3 Rhythmical, but I cut her down to 2 just to get some more room for back. We are on 3 Ice Pop Bear. You'll notice this card is a limit 3. So we are not playing any kind of like the magical card or anything like that. Ice Pop Bear. During the turn, you normal summon this card. Special summon 1 Candy or Amalilith from your graveyard, face of your field. This turn, you can only attack with Omega Psychic type monsters and or Psychic type monster. The restriction on him means absolutely nothing. If you're actually playing the skill, that does not mean a damn thing to you. You could use Bear and Candy as like a tribute engine, but I wouldn't recommend that. However, the effect on Bear is really good. Reborning one of our normal monsters, which are the materials for all our fusions, is actually really good for us. Besides, of course, being tributes, Ice Pop Bear is also part of 2 of the fusions. So that's just an instant fusion if you manage to find Ice Pop Bear and 1 other card, and then your skill can just find you the 3rd that you're missing. Basically, it's a 2-card combo, but it's a 2-card combo where we essentially have like 7 ways of getting. We are on 3 Candy. She's the most important card in the deck. We always need 3. 3 Silent Assailant. She's here for being a 1500 normal cycle. We are on 1 Amalilith. Amalilith is fine. Her fusion comes up sometimes, which is why we're only on 1 copy instead of like 3. We are not looking to frequently summon the fusion, so we're on just the 1 in case we need her. Our legend card is Pot of Avarice. Honestly, this card has been so much better than I even assumed it would be. Like, yeah, I knew Avarice was going to be good, but after playing with it for so long, it just blows so many other ones out of the water. Like, yeah, Tribute is still good, but oh my god, is Avarice insane. And if you can play, like, if you don't have to play, like, Reincarnation or Warrior Returning Alive, Avarice just goes 3 Star Restart, 3 Fusion. We do want to try, like, hard opening the Fusion, because we can only add it through the skill once per turn, so that's why we're on 3, just maxing out on ways to find it. 2 Jam Check. This is our MST. It's not as good as, obviously, the normal MST, but it synergizes so well with us. The life point gain is so nice, and the information we get from being able to check 2 back row is insane. We are on 1 Jam Start. This is a bit of a flex spot. Jam Start is okay. Again, the 1000 life points is really nice, but when it comes to it, it's not that important for the recycling, because we already have 6 other ways to do something like getting a Candy out of the grave. The best part, I guess, of Jam Start is putting back, like, if we're all out of Psy Pick Uppers in deck, Jam Start can put them back for us. Because we are not on Talismanic Sealery, we don't really have anything besides Start and Avarice to put back our card. We are on 1 Rice Terrace Crisis. This card is so good. This card is so good. If you have the room for it, please play it. It's so nice. We are on 1 Buffered Slime. It's slime. It's slime. It's slime, gotta have slime, and 1 card restoration. Anyway, that's it for the deck. Now, why don't we check out some games? Alright, we're here with game number 1, and our opponent is playing Thunder. Thunder. Yeah, I don't really believe much in Thunder as being a good deck for the current format, but this is still an interesting game nonetheless. So our opponent goes ahead and summons 2 monsters and then brings up the Hands Ray Death. Leo goes ahead and loops 2 cards out of hands, and I was big mad at when this happened, hitting both Candy and Ice Pop Bear, thinking, oh, it's fine, they hit Candy, we just got Ice Pop Bear. But then we draw and we go ahead and see this is actually pretty good. We jump start pitching 2, adding Candy back to our hand and just setting our entire field. We just want to invest in our field. Why? Because we want the opponent to play into one of our 2 important back row. So they go ahead and go for the Trigger Drago. They're going to Trigger Drago effect. They're like, oh, we can Pierce, cool. So we go ahead and Restoration, draw our hand, and we draw an insane hand double side pickup where we have Performer and Jump Check and Ice Pop Bear, noticing that the opponent only has 1 card set in their field. So they pretty much lose that back row, and maybe we could gain 1,000 life while we're at it. We draw Amalilith for turn. She's not really going to do much for us. We go ahead and mill. Hit Fusion. Pretty nice if we had a Star Restart. Anyway, so we have Jump Check. Going to go ahead and pop the back row. It's a Musical Princess Recital. I would recommend not really playing this card. Just saying. We go summon the Sidekick Upper. This is, in fact, time to use our skill. Pitch the Amalilith. We'll just reborn her from grave later if we need her. Get the Fusion. And we bring out the Candy Live. There we go. Go ahead and tribute summon the Sidekick Upper. We're going to use the effect. Pay 2k. Put them all to 0. We do want to take out their 2 tribute guys. So we are just going to go aggro. We're going to use the Sidekick Upper just to get some of our life back to make sure we don't die on the crackback. And we unfortunately milled Pot of Avarice. That would have been an insane draw for the next turn. But we are pretty much big chilling with both Rice, Terrace Crisis, and Buffered Slime on field. The opponent could end up playing into it if they end up having a Stormbolt in their hand. And that's kind of what we're doing. We're playing it out, so we trying to get them to play into it. They do hit our slime with the MST, but it's fine because they do in fact summon out the Stormbolt Destroyer, and then we go ahead and show them the Rice Terrace. Thankfully, the Rice Terrace flips just enough to put those 2 guys face back down. Lightning Trigger, lower our attack, and their last card is Talismanic Sealer. So we do lose our Candy Live, but the opponent is dangerously low. Seeing anything like a Prima Katana is pretty much game, or maybe a second Candy Live play. And we drew the perfect hand. Star Restart, brings back the Candy, adds the Fusion. Notice we still have the side pickup on field, so we are just pretty much negotiating the end of the game. Fusion, summon the Candy Live once again, and honestly, let's be real, there is not much kill quite like Overkill. We are in fact summoning the Prima Katana instead, bringing her right out, summoning the Silent Assailant, go Prima Katana effect, and then boom, swing over with Candy Live for a whole lot of damage. Yeah, true, we could have just won much easier by just paying 2k, but like I just said, there ain't no kill quite like Overkill. Fun, clean, nice game that shows exactly what our deck does. Alright, here we are, game number 2, and our opponent is on Sevens Paladin. Wonderful to see this deck on ladder. I really love, I just love the design of Sevens Paladin. And I've said before, Spellcaster is so close to just being the best deck, but Sevens Paladin is great. Our opponent goes in and sets 5 for their turn. Must be nice, let's be real. And our hand is fine. We have access to summoning Candy Live, which is alright, but ending on 1 monster isn't really much for us. But if we do invest into that Candy Live, we will have our Pot of Avarice online. So we go ahead and we just go right ahead into the Candy Live. And we're going to resolve the Pot of Avarice. We shuffle back a side pickupper, Amalilith, Candy, and our other Candy, and our Ice Pop Bear. Draw 2, and it's side pickupper and Candy again. So we're just going to go ahead and do it again, gain some more life points, tribute summon the side pickupper, and we milled the Amalilith. I think Avarice might have put the cards on top of our deck instead of shuffling them in. This is when we saw our opponent was on Sevens Paladin, and I got slightly worried with our current board state with a deck that can put out as much damage as 7th Paladin. But they go ahead and summon Mystic Dealer, pitch Witch, so that says they don't have 7's Road Magician, and they summon another Mystic Dealer, pitching and drawing another card. That probably drew them the Swordsman Roadstar, so they're going to use their effect. Search the 7's Road Magician, just tribute summon that guy right out. And now we have a problem with a monster who's about to deal so much damage. They reveal one of the set cards to tribute to the Doom as well. And then Talismanic Sealer. If we did not gain a lot of life points, we would have been in a really, really bad place here. Thankfully, there is no fusion, and the 7th Paladin gets attack based on what's in both our graveyards, so we would have been in a lot of trouble if that had come down. Now, we did take a lot there, but because we gained so much, we are pretty much just chilling from here. We do need a pretty decent hand to come back, and I'd say we draw a nice one. Jam start, put those two back, add the KND, get another 1,000 life points, Infinite D live, pitch the Prima Katana, summon the KND, tribute summon the Sidekick Upper. How about we gain some more life points? And now we're back up over 6,000 once again. Fusion summon for the KND live. Let's be real, this play does kind of lose to if the opponent has relevant back row, but it's the only play we can make at the moment, so we are going to commit anyway. So we go ahead and summon out Prima Katana and go ahead and use the effect. Still putting us over 6,000 life points, and we swing in and realize the opponent has fake back. We can pretty much tell, that the back row is not fusion, it is not a trap, it's most likely something like Magical Stream, and they reveal it's Magical Stream before I can finish making my point. They summon the Arrow Sorcerer, so you know they put the different elemental sorcerers in the deck to get the attributes for 7's Road. It reveals another Talismanic Seal Array, the other set. I don't really like playing more than one Talismanic Seal Array if I play it at all, but we do lose our Candy live here. Now the problem is these two back are most likely real, after we've seen all these other cards in their deck. So we actually draw a pretty decent hand here now. So we're going to restart, bring out the Candy, get Fusion back, but we are kind of missing like anything else. Negated attack and Magical Stream. Thank you, Jam Check, for revealing 2. Infinite D live, pitch the Rice Terrace, because now we realize the opponent is in fact dead. Ice Pop Bear, Fusion, summon out Candy All. Now we're just going to Reborn, a Sidekick Upper, Prima Katana effect, and we swing in for a whole lot of damage, finishing off the opponent. Different routes, similar but different way to play the deck. Utilizing our other tools like Candy All to really take advantage of the opponent's board state. Here we are, game number 3, and you know what that means. A 1v1 versus Cyber Dragon. We're going second, which is pretty nice against Cyber Dragon because they can't special summon anything. They go ahead and set 2 monsters, leave 3 cards in hand, and I say, okay, Mr. Cyber Dragon, I know what's exactly is in there. You 100% open multiple Cyber Dragons, and then the Cyber Dragon tribute monsters. Oh, we go ahead and leave the Rhythmical, mill a Cyber Dragon, and I was like, I feel vindicated in doing that. We go ahead and use their skill, pitch the Candy, get Ice Pop Bear. Go ahead, use Ice Pop Bear, summon the Candy. Fusion to make Candy All. Now we're going to summon the Silent Assailant, and we're just going to swing in, clear off their board. Leaving the Rhythmical form in attack is not very good, but we did not have a way to tribute this girl at all. Unfortunately, we are kind of weak to a crackback of exactly this. Thankfully, it's Cyber Search Dragon, not Cyber Assault, but they go ahead and tribute their Cyber Dragon for Cyber Search, summon it back with the effect, pump this guy up to 29, add Fusion even though they have no way of Fusion summoning, and then they leave the Fusion in hand. Strange play, but we are pretty much in the losing position from here, so I can't really blame them. Go ahead and draw our next hand, and this looks rough, I'd say. Ice Pop Bear, bring back Candy. At least we got the Fusion, so we can make another Candy live, with thanks to the Sidekick Upper effect, gain 800, mill another Sidekick Upper. We are running out of this girl, I'll tell you that for free. Summon out the Candy live. Here she comes. Set one card, and now we are stuck once again with Ice Pop Bear on field. But what we need to do is clear this board, so we pay 2,000 life points to use Ice Pop Bear to kill one of these Cyber Dragons. They go ahead and have Barrage of Steel, so now we can't even heal, but it seems like they did not open any monster they want to leave on field. If they had left any monster face up without outing the Candy live, we would have in fact just used her effect, lower them by 3,000, and just punch into them for game. So we're going to go ahead and go Star Restart, bring back Amalith, add the fusion, because now we see, wait, the opponent only has 3 monsters in defense. Why don't we put one of these guys in attack position? So go and summon out the Emma Bear Lilith. Use her effect on one of the unknowns, bounce it to hand, see if they'll special summon. They choose no, which is very smart. That would be very bad if they special summon that guy in attack. Go ahead and use our skill again. Mill the Prima Katana. And we just reborn her. Now we have 3 monsters. Go ahead and swing in. The back row seems to have been absolutely nothing, so we're able to just wipe the 2 remaining monsters out and swing for game. Now, I'm not going to say the Cyber Dragon player had a great opening, had a great multiple openings, I'll say, but we were able to use our tools to the fullest to completely wipe the floor with them. And if we can beat Cyber Dragon, I'm happy. So we're back with the deck, and let me be real, let me be clear, I had a lot of options for games to feature on this video, and oh my god, was it so much fun playing them. Unbelievable levels of power from this deck. I'd almost argue this is the 3rd best deck in the game, maybe even the 2nd behind Metarion. I could argue that this deck does in fact etch out Cyber Dragon, and probably up there. But let's go over the pros and cons. First, the pros. This is finally a rush deck that has tools, that has pivots, that has things we can do. We're not just summoning Cyber Twin and passing. We're not just summoning Dragon Star and passing. We're not just popping 2 cards and passing. This deck does so many things. Each and every part of the deck is a cool, unique tool that does good things. Plus, we play such insane power cards like Prima Katana, such insane power cards like Star Restart. Champ Check is probably the best MST-like card in the game, and we can play all of these. Not only that, we are not locked into playing a specific legend, so we get to take advantage of the Pot of Avarice. Plus, we're not stuck out with any limit 3s, so we get to max out on our Ice Pop Bear, and we're not really like stunned with options here. And the Infinite D Live, not only is this skill like actually crazy, but it's kind of proof for the future, where it has stat lines mentioned that don't really do things with the current deck. But if you look on the horizon to future support, this deck will only be getting better. There are some Psychic Fusion monsters that are at an absolutely insane power level that would change the game irreversibly if they got released. Now, we do have some cons. There are some problems with the deck. First of all, our MST, which is completely overpowered, is only at 2, which is a shame for us. We cannot play Negate Attack, and we're only playing 2 MSTs. Our Prima Katana is 2200. So if we're not swinging for game, we're kind of stuck with her on board, and she's easily swung over by a lot of cards. If we don't get Candy live out, we do kind of die. We are weak to Rice Terrace Crisis on the Ice Pop Bear or any of our other like special summon skills. And if we don't establish, now what I'm trying to say, if we're playing from behind, the deck feels really bad. If we don't have the life points to pay for things like Candy Live, we are kind of shit out of luck. As well, not having 1,000 for Prima Katana really sucks. but there are so many different builds, different slots, cards we could add in, switch out. Like, we could play Esperate if we really wanted to. We could cut the Amalilith cards and just max out on our 2 important fusions, and then we can, you know, play more like a deeper back row sweep. You know, I'm not on negate attack or widespread here. We could cut Rhythmical, we could cut Amalilith, we could put in Esperate, we could put in widespread, and the deck will still be really strong. But this isn't a video about ranting about how cool and fun this deck is, how much I love it. Unfortunately, Reddit hates it, so be warned about that. This is about how you can play the deck. And I've pretty much gone over, so we will be ending the video here. Thank you so much for watching. If there is a deck you would like to see me feature in the series, leave that in the comments below. As well, if you disagree with my takes on the deck, go ahead and leave that in the comments below as well. And besides that, remember to always like and subscribe. Thank you again so much for watching. Goodbye.